tried to resist this video, but apparently I'll need to explain why I'm leaving YouTube. Academia now allows me to do videos, so barring any end-of-the-world events, I may pursue that avenue for all things scientific, even including historical for the LDS Church. It'll be in a different format than I've done here on YouTube, obviously. There are 2 comments as I was closing for the day. Where are they? That's not it. That just had me laughing hysterically at how dumb and how hateful and blind it's sickening to witness Mormons claiming to love, claiming to be followers of Christ, even if they call him Jesus, to be involved with so much hatred, so much murder and bloodshed. The coronavirus has allowed Mormons to let go and murder people and claim, hey, oh, the virus, oh, nothing we can do. Yeah, there was. Just stay home, stay safe. So for Labor Day, we're going to have over 10 million people unemployed in Greenland. Yeah, they don't get government benefits anymore after tomorrow. Labor Day. Isn't that great? Way to go, Biden. You saved America. Save America great again? I don't think that quite works. There was a video I did about a video I saw about Panama plates that contained Book of Mormon information. I knew it was a hoax, but I found it amusing. I did a video on it. Come to find out, everybody else already knew it was a hoax. It was a tourist trap for Mormons specifically. and I just didn't know about it and finally saw the YouTube video years later. And so did a video on my own and later found out that everybody already knew. But apparently there's others who have not heard that it is a fake. One particular person who is coming right out as his identity, Charles Day. He's older than I am. He's not a fake channel, most likely, but he's hilarious. And I'm going to read it to you because this is why I'm leaving. Because social media just is not the proper place for social communication. Case in point, you are the hoax. You present no evidence. Only opinion. What makes you think that laughing and derision constitutes either knowledge of existence? It's just so frustrating. Oh my God. I'm not the one presenting the Panama plates. Oh my God. Is this what Mormons have devolved into? That anybody who just creates out of nothing, oh yeah, Joseph Smith, he had special help from the 3 Nephites in translating the Book of Mormon. It's so true. And anybody who doubts me is a denier of the faith, an anti-Mormon, a quarter whore. This is what Charles has pulled. This is what he's doing. This is what you guys who are afraid to come out and expose yourself like Charles has done and just put a thumbs down and run away are doing. This literally is how dumb you guys are. Literally. You cannot communicate with dumb people. And I see dumb people all over Utah. Just like that little boy on The Sixth Sense. I see dead people. I see dumb people. I think there's a t-shirt for that. I need to buy it. What the hell? It's just unbelievable. And then he just says, present this to scientists. Oh, okay. The Panama plates are a fraud, scientist. Who have the means to verify the story, and they didn't. They know about it. It's known as a hoax. Charles, my God. And the sad thing is, one of the side effects from getting coronavirus is dementia. Dear God, we're just being slaughtered. But I don't know. I know Mormons like this before coronavirus, so I think this is him in his full capacity. I think still the fact is that dozens, scores even of metal plates of ancient origin have been discovered. This is a fallacy, and apologists for the church are responsible for spreading this kind of fallacy. Just because there are other plates around the world does not mean Joseph Smith had plates. Not the same. It's false equivalency. So what? There are men other than Joseph Smith who exist. Joseph Smith is a man. Therefore, it's oh my God. You know? Or I can even do the reverse. There are lots of women out there. Joseph Smith is therefore a woman. That's how ridiculous that kind of an argument is. And the Mormon apologists use that all the time because Mormons are dumb. Joseph Smith did not make the claim. This is what I'm going to go over with you, as this could be a long video. Just warning. This is why I am stopping on YouTube. Not just because I'm being silenced. If I were not being silenced and I were getting the thousands of views I used to get, I'd probably still keep going despite all the death threats and hate. But to be silenced as well by YouTube, there's nothing I can do. I'm helpless. And so you cannot laugh them off because they are legitimate historical discoveries. But in Joseph Smith's day, You denied that such plates ever existed. Your attempt now is beyond shameful. Oh dear God. Here's another one who responded to the video I did this morning, which was a video request. He calls himself the Christ with the white supremacist K instead of a C. So he thinks he's clever. And remember, the video I did this morning has the original source of the carving on the walls of the tomb of the 19th dynasty Pharaoh V, Ramses V. So to understand a primary source document, I gave it to you in the picture form. It's from the South Corridor. Ramses V, primary source document. Now listen to the Christ. If you knew anything about original source material, just, oh dear God. Just, oh my God. He says, I would know that the Jesus Horus crap has been debunked many times over. It's just, I gave you the original source material. Other than taking you there to the tomb, we can't wear deodorant. Kind of ruins the paint. But it's there. Are you denying that? Just unbelievable. And so, yeah, a lack of any proper sense of reality, failure to give adequate references, inability to interpret primary sources correctly, and dependence on inaccurate, out-of-date secondary sources rather than primary evidence. As he's referring to secondary sources who are claiming that, in their opinion, it's debunked. That which you falsely accuse in another reveals and exposes the same and worse fault in yourself. Dear God, it's right there in Scripture as the beam in the moat. It's just, I want to cry. Literally. I weep for Mormons and their stupidity, and their hatred, and their violence, and their murders. I can't take it anymore. Dear God. So let's go over the code, since everybody is in denial. I've told you, you can see for yourselves. Get your printed scriptures. What is the edition of your Book of Mormon, your Doctrine and Covenants, and your Pearl of Great Price in the triple combination? Unless it's the newer version from 2013, you will see 1981. Because that's when the footnotes and the topical guide and Bible dictionary and the index for the triple were put in. 1979 for the Bible, with the Bible dictionary and topical guide. So there's a Wikipedia page that helps Mormons learn about the changes that were made to the Doctrine and Covenants in the text. Because the original 1835 edition of the Doctrine and Covenants, a book of LDS scripture, used, code names. So this isn't me. List of code names in the Doctrine and Covenants, Wikipedia. Mormons have made sure to make this available. Everybody knows it. 1981, you can see the 1930 or 1835 edition for yourself on the Joseph Smith Papers. They'll even let you know. Code names for people and places. The Community of Christ's edition still uses the code names. They didn't decode it because ours was done in 1981. Where did you say that? Yeah, there it is. And the 1981 LDS edition printed only the real names. They think they got them all. I've gone over numerous. Oops, they missed this one. Oops, they missed that one. Oops, they missed this one. Section 1, verse 16, Babylon. Obviously coded, because it's not going to fall in the future. It already fell with the Persian Empire. It's code, the code name for a place, or in that particular case, an organization. The Great and Abominable Church, specifically, because it's referring to John's Revelation reference to Babylon the whore, which is in the Book of Mormon as the Great and Abominable Church, whose founder is the devil, which shall fall, referring to John in that Revelation book of the latter days. And so, section 1, by the way, was put in the 1835 edition. And so they have code names for people. Hashdah Newell K. Whitney. Oh, he's a fake person in church history, right, Mormons? Alam, Edward Partridge. Oh, there's another fake Mormon. He's not real, is he, Mormons? Benimi, Lyman White, but reinterpreted by Orson Pratt as Mine Elders in 1876. Also claimed as a title by Charles B. Thompson. All fake people, right, Mormons? Barak El, Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith encoded his own name? Yes, because Enoch, also code for Joseph Smith. Wait a minute, there's still Enochs in the Doctrine and Covenants and in other places. Uh-oh. Gazelem, also Joseph Smith. Wait a minute, that's in the Book of Mormon. And it goes on for Oliver Cowdery, John Whitmer, Martin Harris, Sidney Rigdon, William Wines Phelps, Frederick G. Williams, John Johnson. Here's other code words for places. Canaan Hannock, New York. Lane Shine House, printing office. Ozanda, mercantile store. Shinehaw. Oh, that's the son in the Book of Abraham. Kirtland. Shine Law, print. Oh, so there's actions involved that are coded. Sort of like translated by the gift and power of God. I did that one. That's the follow-up before I did today's other video. Translated by Joseph Smith meant, before he actually learned to translate in 1835, after the publication of the 1835 Doctrine and Covenants, meant encoded. It didn't mean translate, it meant encoded. So the Book of Mormon, translated. The Book of Mormon is encoded, just like the Doctrine and Covenants. Joseph Smith translation of the Bible, Joseph Smith encoded version of the Bible. So there's extra stuff about Enoch, Joseph of Egypt. Do you not understand this? So let's go to a Doctrine and Covenants passage. Oh, how about section 45 that I've already been telling you? See, in verse 10, Joseph Smith tells us, "Wherefore come ye unto it, and him that cometh I will reason with him as with men in days of old, and I will show you unto you my strong reasoning." Now verse 15, he's talking to Mormons. "Hearken ye people of my church," Mormons. So 15, "Wherefore hearken, and I will reason with you, and I will speak unto you and prophesy as unto men in days of old." He's telling us, he's encoding the rest of this in prophecy for Mormons, that it's about Mormons and for Mormons, encoded. And that he's also telling us the Bible is also encoded. And so he is encoding section 45 in the exact same manner that the author of Matthew encoded 24, chapter 24. Because that's where this comes from. The latter days. Notice Joseph Smith does not have "no man knoweth the day or the hour." I've been going over with you the code of signs in the heavens that give us a day and hour date and time. This is not complicated, but because the prophets of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who are curing coronavirus with magic powers rather than Nelson being a medical doctor, or at least following the scriptures where Moses told the people of Israel, stay home, stay safe until it passes over. Not hard. You guys are being exterminated, and you're arguing about wanting plates to be true in Panama, about cheering that I've been silenced on YouTube. And so I will show plainly, as I showed it unto my disciples. Wait, Joseph showed it unto his disciples? Joseph is the code. The Lord speaking to Joseph, code. Constantine created Jesus as real, but not real. Homoousios means not real, but made him historical. So that all the Gospels, it's now a real Jesus who lived during the Roman period. And you wonder why the prophets of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints claim that the coded first vision is the real Jesus Christ of Constantine in the Gospels, who says that he himself is an abomination in his sight. That's the first creed, the Nicene Creed. Their creeds are an abomination in my sight. This is not complicated. And so, concerning the signs of my coming is code for, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I just saw it. There it is. We got to go back. Wherefore, verse 11, wherefore hearken ye together, and let me show unto you even my wisdom, the wisdom of him whom ye say is the God of Enoch and his brethren. Who's Enoch? I just read it to you. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints have said Enoch is Joseph Smith, who were separated from the earth and were received unto myself, a city reserved until a day of righteousness shall come. I wonder why there is no Zion. Could it be there is no righteous Mormon? This is not complicated. Once you recognize that the prophets are going against the scriptures, when they're getting paid, which is called priestcraft, when they are putting Mormons in financial bondage with tithing as a protection racket. Little children are forced to pay tithing, and you guys can't figure it out. Helaman chapter 6 says, hey, if there are loyalty oaths and covenants to kill yourself if you reveal the secrets that go on in the temple, you're a part of the secret combination church. So maybe all of you are too old, or too young, sorry, to remember what changes Benson made to the temple. All you know about is Nelson's changes, that women no longer obey their husband, that now obey the Lord, who is the prophets who speak for the Lord, who tell women to obey their husband. See, Benson changed obey to hearken unto the counsel. Wow, okay, I guess women don't need to obey anymore, do they? They just hearken unto the counsel. They preside in the home, and women have to hearken to the presider's counsel. I've gone over that with you. YouTube even shut down TWG for a couple of weeks because I exposed that. This is how bad it's gotten. When exposing crime is called a crime. Dear God. But also the penalties were taken out. But the knife still remains. For each and every time you raise your right arm to the square, the thumb extended, the fingers close together, the palm out, palm forward. This is the sign. Now repeat after me. The knife is the thumb. Because as part of the penalties, this was utilized, and then you had to do this. I still remember, even though it's been since May 6th, 1989. I went into the MTC on the 17th of May. So I needed to be temple endowed first. Los Angeles Temple. I still remember what it looked like inside the Los Angeles temple. And so, let's get into some of the specifics here. Verse 18, and now ye behold this temple, which is in Jerusalem. No code. It's not the temple in Jerusalem, is it? And it's not the Zion temple, because that's waiting for a day of righteousness. And section 85 says that the coded name, One Mighty and Strong, will set in order the temple. So something's going on, huh? Which church could it be that is Babylon the whore, the great and abominable church, with Lucifer as its head, its Lord and Master, whom Isaiah says his sign is the inverted pentagram, the falling star? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And Venus. Where can we find the inverted pentagram? Certainly not the church. Certainly not the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. So yes, it's the Salt Lake Temple. But Joseph didn't know it. Brigham Young, by being wicked, ordered it so, and thus fulfilled the prophecy of evil. And so it's not Jerusalem, it's Utah, Salt Lake City. Oh, isn't that interesting? Judah, Utah. Judah, because there is no J, it's the Y, Judah, Utah, spelled past. Is it an ED or a T? We're 21. And it shall come to pass. He's talking to Mormons. He said, I'm coding this for you guys, just like they did in days of old. And I am using Matthew 24. This generation of Jews. How do we decode this? I don't know. We've decoded the temple in Jerusalem. Who then would be the Jews? This is not complicated. All that I have told you shall not pass away until all shall be fulfilled. Verse 23. Day shall come. Shall a remnant be scattered among all nations. Apparently Mormons are going to get scattered and then be gathered. Well, they're scattered right now, aren't they? So let's take you to section 1 and finish this video. Do you see why Mormons are so frustrating? They refuse truth in its plainness, in its source, original source documents. Verse 14, remember this is still coded too. The arm of the Lord shall be revealed, and the day cometh that they, wonder who they are, who will not hear the voice of the Lord, code, neither the voice of his servants, is referring to Deuteronomy 18, man like Moses. Section 103:16, Mormon, neither the voice of his servants, neither give heed to the words of the prophets and apostles. Well, obviously that's Nelson. We need to cure coronavirus with magic. Fasting, prayer, Jesus, church attendance, healing power of gratitude. Heaven forbid we should stay home and stay safe. Shall be destroyed. Joseph Smith in the history says, he quoted Acts, not Deuteronomy. Acts has destroyed for not listening to the last days Mormon Christ, like Moses. Moses is our Christ. He's the Jewish Christ. He's the Christian Christ. It's right there in the primary source document of the Bible. Verse 15, for they have strayed from mine ordinances and have broken mine everlasting covenant. Yeah, Christians have this, don't they? Islam has this, don't they? The Jews have this, don't they? No, Mormons only. As I've told you, only Mormons and Mormon prophets are involved with the signs in the heavens and the fulfillment of prophecy, dealing specifically with lunar eclipses and their deaths. Not Jews, not Christians, not Islam, Mormons. And so it's Mormons that Joseph Smith is talking about. It's confirmed over and over and over and over again, so that it's obvious what the decoding is supposed to be. They seek not the Lord to establish his righteousness. Mormons. They're not seeking the man like Moses to be good, to stop murdering people, to stop being violent, to stop being full of hate and claiming it's love. But every Mormon walks in his own way, after the image of his own God. That's idol worship, Mormons. When you claim you've had a spiritual witness, that's your own way. That's the image of your own God. Because you're saying God has revealed to you a spiritual witness. You now know truth as a primary source document, and nobody else can tell you otherwise. You've just fulfilled section 1, verse 16 as being the bad guys. Good job. And that's why this is my last video. And there's Babylon. Shall perish in Babylon, even Babylon the Great, which shall fall. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Decoded. You guys are straining at gnats to prove the church true by violence, murder, hatred, and stupidity. It cannot stand if you cannot follow the one and only commandment of love. Love is not to persecute your brother or your neighbor. Love is to not send death threats. Love is not spreading and escalating a pandemic that was prophesied. Section 45 even, verse 31. It was coded, so you might have missed it. It's a desolating scourge and a sickness. Overflowing scourge and a desolating sickness. That's the code. So frustrating. So I'm going to post this first thing tomorrow morning. I'm fed up. This is beyond absurd, as the Christ told me. Dear God. I am surprised that I got 61 on TWG for the 3.5 hour movie. Did you guys even stay long enough? Did you just get to the first part and go, he's just talking fluff at the beginning, as he usually does? Thumbs down, I'm out.